Mayor and Commissioners, mics are live.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. We're gonna go ahead and call this workshop for Monday, January 27th, 5:30 p.m. to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Almazan,
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Reese.
Here.
Wilson.
Here. Can we get the approval of the agenda for the workshop, please?
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Reese, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Collins. Call the roll, please.
Almazan,
Aye.
Collins.
Aye.
Reese.
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye. Madam Clerk, read into the record the item discussing for the workshop, please.
Yes, sir. The item today is an update of city projects by Keith Strainer, our city engineer.
Okay, Mr. Manager, anything for the good order before we start? Yes, sir. I assume Keith is gonna get us kicked off. Yes, Mr. Ryan, you've been recognized, sir.
Good afternoon, Keith Schreiner for the record. I will quickly go through this project list. There's about 44 items here, so I'll try to cover them as quickly as possible. The pickleball down at the Torrey Island, that project is coming to a close. We have a tentative ribbon cutting for next Thursday. That's 2/4. With commission approval. The bathhouse, do we want to do that now, or you want me to just?
Yeah, so Commissioner, as we go, at any point, as he go through them, we can just stop and ask questions on each item as we go, so we'll have to go back over again.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The bathhouse project, we had the bids were opened on January 13th. The lowest bid was $925K. We're short in our budget for that, so we're looking for more money to see how we can move forward with that project. The docks out there, as we know, there's quite a few docks. I did a full quantity takeoff and a cost estimate on everything that's out there to replace the wood with the plastic composite material. Those are gonna be updated in the capital improvement plan, and we'll try to knock them off, a few each year.
But go back to number 2, so how short are we on the bathhouse?
I think we had 600K. We're around 200K short. So I think there's, I'm working with finance to see where we can pull those funds.
Okay.
The docks, the campground expansion, from what I understand, that was moved from the agenda today. But it's basically a design proposal to do additional, put additional sites out there off Slim's parking lot. There's, I think, 25-ish new sites for the RVs.
So currently, Mr. Manager, Diana, what's our numbers now? How many, is it 375, 400? How many campsites we have currently now operating?
We have approximately 350, but not all of those sites can be rented depending upon the size of your camper. So when we're at about 210, we're at full capacity at the campground. And right now, we are at full capacity at the campground.
The reason we're moving forward with this here is when you,
Turn your mic on, Doug. Your mic.
the reason we're moving forward on this here is when you cross the bridge, go to the left by the fish camp there, you go down there, there's an entire wing there that there's nothing there. There's water and sewer that has been there, but we're trying to add 25 additional sites because we're maxed out. We don't have any vacancies, so we can rent them up with no problem.
Mr. Mayor,
That's the direction we're going out on that.
Vice Mayor, you've been recognized.
have we also considered that same area, maybe putting some possible Airbnbs or, rental type, short-term,
We had not, these were continuing RV sites.
There'll be the 30 by 60 footprint. You can put tiny homes on them if you want. They'll have all the water, sewer, electric hookups. I mean, it'll be a concrete pad. The whole 9 yards that we've been doing out there is having the asphalt driveway with a concrete pad next to it for picnic tables and all that stuff.
We have attempted that in the past, but the Corps of Engineer hasn't been very receptive.
Isn't the one to the east of crossing the bridge is private ownership? What's going on with that? Is it anything with the owner?
I know they reached out several years ago to try to,
They wanted us to do something.
basically was looking for, financial assistance from the city. I don't know if it was a
Maybe
public,
that could be something, Mr. Manager, where they could, what Vice Mayor was talking about, the Airbnb, maybe that could be something you can talk with them about as a possibility. You know? Do we
Yes,
have
sir,
to
but we
contact-
don't want to be in a partnership with someone. If they want to.
No, I'm talking about for him, because he's not doing anything with it.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, all right, good.
moving down to item 5, the leasing office there for the campground. The permit was issued today, or it has been issued, so we're just waiting for the contractor to come pick up the permit and start. It's gonna be a re-roof, for that leasing office. The pavilion parking lot, we're looking at adding some water service connections sporadically throughout that parking lot for, like the upcoming barbecue event that we have. It's just create that parking lot to be user-friendly for your events. Paving, drainage, and safety projects. We have the northwest, southwest, Third Street drainage. That design is done. It's in the city's list for bidding this year. We did submit for additional funding for construction this last year, so we're trying to see when we get the results back from that grant request, because we are gonna need more money to do that construction project. SCOP 7 streets, that is also in the bid list for this year. So that's scheduled for March, and the Third Street's for June. That's where we tentatively have these projects listed in the bids. SCOP 8 streets, that was submitted last year. We're waiting for the grant agreement from DOT. So once we get that, we'll come to you for approval. Basin D, CIS is doing the design for that. That's in the northeast section of town. We're approximately at 60% design. We do have some encroachments in the easements, so I'm getting that document put together, and I'll get with staff to see how we're gonna handle those encroachments. Those are in between the rears of the lots. Basin H1, HBC is the consultant doing the design for that. They're at approximately 60%, and they're looking to want to do a workshop with the city in March to go over the plans at 60%. That is on the south side of MLK from Main Street to, I think, 3rd or 4th Street, that neighborhood surrounding City Hall. Southeast Avenue G pedestrian bridge, we're at approximately 90% design on that. That's for the pedestrian bridge that connects Avenue G to, I believe, 5th Street, somewhere in there. There's an existing structure, it's closed. The plan is to have a contractor come in and do the foundations, and we get a prefabricated structure and drop it on the foundations there.
You said it's 90%
Yeah.
complete.
I have a submittal we have to upload to, that was initially a legislative request, I believe, but it went to DOT for funding, so they have a portal that we have to upload the plans to. So I'm getting ready to upload. Technically, I'm labeling them as a 60% submittal because we haven't made any submittals through that portal yet. So I'll let them give their comments, and then we'll submit 100% right away. The Gator Boulevard lighting, that contractor mobilized in September last year. They did the improvements on the existing utility poles from the gas station there on Gator East. They came into an issue when they were driving new poles from the gas station west to Main Street. They hit some kind of plate that was underground. So they're working with the county on where they can relocate those poles. I have to follow up with them to see where they're at with that project, but half of it's done because there was existing utility poles, so they were able to put lighting on there.
Well, they put most of those poles up already.
Are they
I mean,
up?
there's a few
Okay.
missing here and there. Yeah,
So-
the other half was done way ago.
Yep. Okay, so they're moving forward. That was the holdup, though. They hit something underground, didn't know what it was. I was told it was a plate.
And you said that they're looking for somewhere to put some of the poles that they couldn't install?
They had to do some adjustments. Technically, that's county right away. It's a county road. So I told them they really need to get approval from them, but they were just looking to shift them, you know, either closer to the sidewalk or further away. They're just adjustments. They're gonna keep the spacing there, but it's just off the edge of pavement.
Do they have a projected completion date?
I can find out.
City manager, is it possible that we could start, maybe thinking about some lighting on 715? Because it's really dark in that area as well, too.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought there was a Department of Transportation project to put lights there, is that correct?
I know DOT is working right now to do some sidewalks and shoulder expansion. I can check the plans to see if there's lighting on there, but there's another DOT project. It's not on this list, actually, because it's fairly new. They're still in the planning phase.
I thought it was lighting as well as sidewalks.
I know they're looking at Canal Street and Main Street, that area where how the road kind of forms a triangle there. They're looking at doing some pedestrian improvements, whether it's biking, sidewalk, possibly some lighting. And there was a section from 715 east onto North Canal. I believe they're looking at doing some improvements along there. But I can check my notes and add an update to this.
The area that I'm referring to is right there where they did the improvements at the red light in front of Calusa.
Okay.
Going back towards the college. It is very dark at night there.
Okay. The vulnerability assessment, we are in modeling right now. There's a stormwater storm event analysis that goes along with the vulnerability assessment. So once we get that model done, the GIS maps will be updated. Eventually, this document goes to the county because they update all the cities within the county into their map. And this is a planning document. It gets updated about every 5 years. The Northeast First Street and Southeast Avenue CD Loop, those are roadway rebuild projects. We're approaching about 60%. For the Northeast First Street project, it starts at Gatorville Boulevard, goes down to the park. For Southeast Avenue CD, it goes from Main Street across CD and loops back right around to Main Street. I can get some more information on those projects if you guys need it. Avenue A rebuild, it's a planning phase right now. It's in the CRA. The TPA, Palm Beach County TPA, is doing that work with Kimley Horn as their consultant. So I know we had a kickoff meeting in September last year. We had a workshop at the museum several months ago. So they're moving along with that. The Civic Center pool, the designs are done. We're looking for funding. The City Hall renovation project, the plans are done. I've actually reached out to a contractor we can use a piggyback contract through, so I'm getting pricing. I got pricing already from them on Friday, I think it was. So I'm looking, it's a little over the budget. It's close. So I'm coordinating with them and the architect to see where we can push this project in the budget. It's to fortify the main entrance, the secretary, the cashiers, and then to do some office renovations to create some more offices. Butts Park and Hand Park, the restrooms, both those projects are done. They're in the queue for bid in February. The airport shade structures,
They're in queue.
they're on the city's bid list for February.
Do we have a projected date when those will be completed?
We'll have to go through a month advertisement for the bid, see what the bids come in, and they're probably a 6-month duration. So we could be looking at 8 after you get through all the processes. 8 months. Airport park shade structures. I've also reached out to a contractor for piggyback pricing. That includes shade structures over the bleachers by the football, soccer field, as well as the 2 bleachers by the by both baseball fields. Lions Park, we're at approximately 60% design. That was the Land and Water Conservation Grant that we applied for. It's to resurface the walking path, add some static workout stations along the walking path, put up a chain link fence, potentially resurface and repaint the parking lot, put up 2 shade structures over the existing playground equipment. There's quite a few little items involved in that project. These next 3 projects, we're going through the county's brownfield program. It's to, it's a planning program to help utilize and get projects moving. So you have the 100 Northwest Fifth Street project. It's the old gas station. They just completed their Phase 1 environmental site assessment. They're in production with Phase 2. As I mentioned, that's through Palm Beach County, and their consultant is Stantec. They're also looking at 900 Southeast Avenue G, which is the old Gove. The Phase 1 environmental site assessment is in production right now. And then we have them also, I reached out to them about the Fun Spot location. There is a snag on that when it comes to the Brownfields program. It's a county project or a county property, but the issue with that is that they currently have the property zoned or slated for housing still. So we got to reach back out to the county if they can release that property. From what I understand, from what I was told, if they can release that property from housing, it could potentially be considered for this program. So then they can go through the planning and do an analysis on what we would like to be proposed for that site. As far as parades, the MLK parade permit was a success. I'm going to be working on the Afro Arts permit next. The NEAT program, it's a grant. It includes the museum mural, some landscaping, some parks in the CRA, trash cans, a mobile movie screen. Parks and Rec is handling that with Public Works. The airport projects, the master retention area, the bids were opened 11/20 of last year. We're looking for more funding. From what I understand, Kimberly Horn has submitted a request for funding through the Department of Transportation. The maintenance building design, they're at 99% complete. They're just waiting on their permits. That project, as soon as the design and the permits are issued, that's the next project that the city plans to bid. Groundwater monitoring and the airspace GIS, those are both ongoing projects with Kimberly Horn. The demolition projects we have going on right now, you got the old Gove. Phase 2 is complete. There's a change order on the agenda tonight, and we're asking for approval to move forward with Phase 3. That is through the Solid Waste Authority program. It's a grant. We got the 406 MLK. We're trying to get that building demoed. It burned down several years ago, or partially burned. And then there's also a donation that we're looking at receiving for 706 Southwest Avenue B. Planning and zoning is waiting for a letter from the property owner. We wanted to get something in writing.
Excuse me. Mayor and Commissioners, our next meeting was at 5:45. Do you want to allow additional 5 minutes
Yes.
for Ms. Keith? Okay.
Palm Beach County DOT projects, there's a master plan, a countywide transportation master plan. I'm not sure when that goes to advertise, but I did assist in getting that RFQ put together to help, help the Glades area. I was the voice for all these cities out here. The countywide vulnerability assessment, the consultant doing that is Stantec. And as I mentioned, the 2 vulnerability assessments kind of get joined into one submittal to the state once those are all done. Palm Beach County water utility projects, you have a Zone 4. That's tentative start is in March or February. That's that triangle from Main Street, MLK to Canal Street. So they're gonna be doing some water and sewer improvements on all those streets, and then the next phase is the triangle south of MLK. The consultant working with that on this, with the city, is Keshevars and Associates, so I know they're gonna be wanting to set up a meeting with staff once that project starts to take off. State Road 715, those are the shoulder and sidewalk improvements from Canal down to Main Street. So I believe that project's supposed to be completed by February, somewhere in February, so I can get a completion date.
On that sidewalk, the old sidewalk on the east side, who's responsible for the maintenance?
That would all be DOT, it's in there right
It's in
away.
bad shape.
Okay,
It's in bad shape. I started, changed my bike route and I've been going down. It's
I'll
in bad
mention,
shape.
I'll mention that to them. It's on the east side, you said, right?
Yeah, the old one, the east side.
Yeah, I also want to add to, right there on, 715, by Calusa, where they did those improvements at, they did not smooth the street back out onto the highway, and people have been complaining about it being, a hazard for their cars.
Yeah, I think that's in discussion. They're having that discussion with the contractor. Their paving work's supposed to be done soon, if it's not already. I'm gonna do a drive-through of that project tomorrow. As far as financial assistance, I just listed some of these other grants we've submitted on. So you have Northwest Fifth Street Vehicular Bridge. We really submitted a request for design through construction. Basin H1, we're requesting additional construction dollars. Third Street, as I mentioned previously, we're requesting more construction dollars. The SCOP 18 streets submitted 2 years ago, we were not awarded. So I'm gonna use some of those 18 streets on that list for this year's request. So I've got to look at the list, compare it to the Palm Beach County projects that are slated for the next few years, because we're gonna stay out of that area. And once the county gets done working on those streets, then we'll request resurfacing dollars for those streets. And that's all I have for you guys today.
Okay, so it's pretty obvious that Keith, you've been pretty busy. Now, there's only one add-on here, and correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioners, 715 lighting, from the State College up to Calusa, okay? Rest of them are follow-up, so, okay, Mr. Manager, so we can look into that and then reach out to that private owner. I think that should do it. Keith, thank you, good job.
Thank you.
Would you like to inform the commissioner?
Sad news?
I will be leaving Craig A. Smith. The 7th is my last day.
Another firm.
We do have someone coming in. I was gonna speak with you tomorrow. I'm gonna bring someone in on Wednesday to show them around in the interim. But yes, I will be going to another firm starting the 10th February.
That will be a loss for the city of Belle Glade and moving to another firm. However, Diana, aren't we required to go back out for engineering services?
Wednesday.
I'm sorry?
He's gonna have it, I think, ready by Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah, I know when I was in that seat, he did an excellent job of pushing through the projects and getting them completed, and I really appreciate all the hard work that you did to help our city. I hate to see you gone.
I love working for you guys, so it's been a pleasure.
We appreciate everything you've done, Keith.
It all started with his dad, so. Commissioner Collins, any closing comments?
No, not for the record.
Vice Mayor?
Oh, sir.
All right, we on time here, so we're gonna go ahead and close out this workshop here. This workshop is adjourned. Go right into the next one.
Yes, sir. Our next meeting is a special meeting for CRA, Community Redevelopment Agency. May we have a roll call for this meeting, sir? Almazan?
Here.
Collins,
Here.
Reese,
Here?
Wilson.
Here.
May we have approval of agenda?
So move.
Second?
Roll call, Almason,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Reese,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye. All right, invocation. Please stand for the invocation for the CRA.
Dear Heavenly Father, we are truly thankful to you for this day that you've made. We thank you for the privilege that you've given to us to serve this community. As we come into this meeting, we invoke your presence to be here with us, to guide us throughout this process, that whatever decisions we make will be to the benefit of our community. We ask your blessing upon our staff and in this city. And Lord, we pray that whatever we decide to do, it'll be according to your will, that you might be glorified. We ask all this in your name. And all those who love the Lord said,
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Approval of agenda, please.
You've already approved the agenda, sir.
Is there a motion? We did for the agenda?
yes.
We had the top? You skip, all right. Who's taking lead?
I'll read the resolution by title,
Okay.
if I may. Today, we are having a resolution recommending the City Commission's approval of, the CRA City Commission's approval of change order number 1 to the contract for the purchase of demolition services with the BG Group LLC, approving the expenditure of CRA funds for such change order.
All right, what's your motion?
So move.
All right, there is a motion by Commissioner Reese. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Collins. Any comments from the audience?
No, sir.
Comments, Commissioner, Manager? If not, call the roll.
Almason, Collins,
Aye.
Reese,
Aye.
Wilson.
Okay, Mr. Manager, any day for the good order.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Commissioner Reese for the
No,
CRA. Okay, Commissioner Collins?
No, sir.
All right, Vice Mayor.
No, sir.
All right, I don't have any. This special meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call this workshop to order for Monday, January 27th, 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Almazan,
Here.
Collins,
Here.
Reese,
Here,
Wilson.
Here. Approval of agenda for the workshop, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Amazon, second by Commissioner Collins. Call the roll, please.
Almazan,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Reese,
aye.
Wilson.
Aye. Madam Clerk, please read into the record.
Yes, sir. Under the regular meeting, we'll have the following presentations. We have December 2024 and January 2025 Employee Safety Award recipients. We are asking if, and under the regular meeting, if we can reorder item 5 after January Employee Safety Award recipient as 2A, so that you will all be off of the dais already. Item 3, we have social media content updates by Mr. Barry Kerrigan. Item 4, status of the Glades Region in Education by Angela Moore, Glades Region Superintendent. Under consent agenda items, we have approval of city meeting minutes. Item 7, authorization of retirement recognition gift award to Roberto Munoz. Item 8, authorization of unused sick leave accrual award to Burrito Munoz. Item 9, approval of travel for Mayor Wilson to attend the Federal Action Strike Team Fast Fly-In held in Washington, D.C., February 4th through the 5th, 2025. Item 10, approval of travel for Mayor Wilson, Vice Mayor Almazan, and Commissioners Collins and Reese to attend a Palm Beach County Day in Tallahassee, Florida, March 4th and 5th, 2025. Item 11, approval of travel for Mayor Wilson, Vice Mayor Almazan, and Commissioners Collins and Reese to attend the National League of Cities Congressional City Conference 2025 in Washington, D.C., March 8th through the 13th, 2025. Item 12, approval of city manager travel for remainder of fiscal year 2024 and 2025, and ratification of past city manager travel for NLC City Summit in November 2024. Item 13, approval of consulting agreement with the Alexander Group, Inc., related to lobbying services with authorization for mayor to execute and approve budget transfer number 25-T-003 in the amount of $10,000. Item 14, approval of the City of Belle Glade's addendum with Everglades Equipment Group relating to the Florida Sheriff's Association contract number FSA 23-EQU21.0. Approval to purchase John Deere skid loader attachments in the amount not to exceed $24,848.30, and authorization to issue a purchase order. Under adoption of resolutions, we have the following. Item 15, approval interlocal agreement between the City of Belle Glade and Palm Beach County regarding the annexation of 6 unincorporated enclaves. Item 16, approving change order number 1 to the contract for the purchase of demolition services from the BG Group LLC relating to the 201 Northwest 4th Street, 217 Northwest 5th Street, and 225 Northwest 5th Street, granting authority for the mayor to execute said change order. Item 17, granting approval to issue a purchase order and enter into the addendum for the piggyback purchase of demolition services from the BG Group LLC through its contract with the School Board of Broward County, waiving purchasing procedures for the purchase of additional demolition services relating to building structure at former Gove Elementary School, and granting authority for the mayor to execute said addendum. Item 18, adopting the 2024 revised Palm Beach County Local Mitigation Strategy Plan. And we do have an add-on, I do apologize, which would be 14A. This is, will be recommended in the regular meeting for relating to approval of proposed lease and operator for the Drawbridge Cafe. That's 14A. Under second reading of ordinances, item 19, annexing 2 parcels of real property totaling approximately 36.2 acres owned by Abdul Mafous Number 2 LLC, located at 1290 South Main Street, as more particularly described herein, declaring that the voluntary annexation of the properties meet all legal criteria, and directing city administrative staff to take all actions necessary to effectuate the annexation. Item 2, second and final reading for amending Chapter 29, Vegetation, Article 2, Weeds and Grass, Vegetation and Gardens on Vacant Lots, Section 29-22, lien for costs of abatement notice by adding a new subsection authorizing collection and enforcement of non-ad valorem assessments pursuant to Section 197.3632 Florida statutes and for other purposes. Under other business, we have item 21, approval of Vice Mayor Almazan to serve as the alternate to Mayor Wilson on the Transportation Planning Agency, TPA Governing Board. And I will announce the announcements under our regular meeting, sir.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Any questions, comments? All right, Mr. Manager, go ahead.
I have one.
Go ahead.
Could you go back to item number 5, Jessica, and repeat what you said, what we were doing for that?
Item 5, presentations. So we want to reorder item 5 as 2A to go after January Employee Safety Award recipients.
Okay,
Yeah, so you don't go back and forth.
right. I just missed it, I'm sorry.
Okay, Mr. Manager, anything for the good order for the workshop?
Not at this time.
Okay, Ms. Evans, anything for the good of the workshop? Okay. Council, to Sylvia, anything for the workshop? Okay. Captain Payne, anything for the good of the workshop? Okay, do we have any audience comments for the
No,
workshop?
sir.
Okay, all right, so Commissioner Reese, you've been recognized for any comments for the workshop?
No comments.
Okay, Commissioner Collins likewise.
None for the workshop.
Okay, Vice Mayor Amazon.
I have a few. Me and Captain Payne have been speaking on school cameras coming into our community. Other cities have it, and it's hopefully we can work with our manager, and hopefully next month we can work with Red Speed. They're already working with the city of Wellington. They can come and do us a presentation. This is something that he and I both think it'll help the community, and they work in the school zones only and enforce traffic citations. So that's one thing I want to bring up. Another one is I think as a city and the government, we should be meeting not only with our U.S. Congress rep. She's having something, an event on Friday, and asking for community input. I think we should be communicating or meeting with them and with our county commissioner at least once a month. Sit down and let her know what our priorities are out here. I think sometimes they lose the connection, and it's only like when it's legislative, we need something. Even if we don't have any federal projects or anything, I think we need to keep that communication going because it's important. She's having something this Friday. I know I received that invitation. I don't know if all of y'all received one or not, but I think you have to RSVP by tomorrow, but I think it's something that we should be there as a city and let her know, or they can let us know what's available, what funding or not. If we're not at the table, then we don't know what's going on if we're not inside that room. Other cities and other municipalities are getting that money. So that's hopefully something we can start engaging in more frequently not only with our congressional representative, but also with our county commissioner. And we need to, schedule a monthly meeting, something, bring her out here, we have to go over there, whatever. But one of our staff has to be, we have to meet and let her know what's going on here. If she doesn't come out here, we have to go over there, but she needs to know what's going on here and what our needs are. Even if we repeat it every month, she needs to know. That's all I have.
Yeah, and I think a strategy, I think you guys talked about it, Vice Mayor, at the league meeting, that perhaps on a lot of these groundbreakings that we have, or ribbon cuttings, whatever you may call them, invite them out here so we can have those conversations, sidebar conversation. So you're absolutely right. Since we have about maybe 15 minutes, Mr. Manager, I know at some point you're gonna mention it, but we need to go ahead and get a commitment on the date for our workshop on the noise and the chicken ordinance. I mean, we gotta go ahead and get that done. So while we buying time now, because we have about 15 minutes, can we get the commissioner to look at the calendars now and throw some dates out here? So we can go ahead and be full throttle on that because, the noise, it continue to be an issue. And I know Captain Payne and you, Mr. Manager, you guys get those calls like we do. And then the chicken ordinance, I think, Captain Payne, you and I talked earlier, you're gonna come up with a game plan to help us out. So, Commissioner, if you guys look at your calendar now, please, and, let's throw some dates out there. And see what works best for everybody. We can start with, next month, or you wanna start in the month of, March? I think the earlier the better, though.
Yeah, February is better.
February.
Okay, so let's throw some dates.
I mean, I would say I'm pretty open, just other than, you know, you may have that upcoming event you would have to attend, but other than that.
Well, our next meeting, scheduled meeting is the 17th. I mean, that's council, yeah. So let's go with, how about February the 3rd?
What time are we?
It's up to you guys. I'm flexible,
I am too.
okay?
I've got a doctor's appointment that morning in West Palm, so
So maybe 4, 3,
3 o'clock?
3 o'clock? Ms. Manager, check
3 o'clock
on the 3rd.
on the 3rd?
You good with that? Okay, so Captain Payne, please, so we're gonna have, if it's okay with you commissioners, we're gonna have 2 agenda items. One to deal with the noise and one to deal with the chickens, right? We agreed to that before. So we're gonna need some time because the noise is certainly gonna take some time, and even the chicken ordinance is gonna have to take some time. In the meantime, Mr. Manager, can you get your staff to look at other municipalities and see what they're doing to address both the noise as well as the chicken issues? Captain?
You said February 3rd, what time?
3 o'clock.
Where
I
will
have
we
a
meet?
doctor's appointment at 3 o'clock. And it's, I have to be at that meeting.
How about that Tuesday? We need you at that meeting. We definitely have to have you there. Does Tuesday work for everybody?
Especially for the chickens.
Tuesday being the 4th, I'm good.
Tuesday? How about Commissioner?
Evening hours, though.
Give me a time. What's good for you?
3 is fine.
3?
That should be good.
Okay. Commissioner Reese?
Trying to get to my calendar.
Okay. While he's looking at his calendar, Mr. Manager, let's pull some ordinances and see what other cities are doing. Maybe I could help navigate our concern.
What date did you say?
4th,
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. What time do they put it?
3
Yeah,
o'clock.
all right. I'm fine.
Mayor and Commissioners, I'm sorry, excuse me, if we can, we do have magistrate hearing meetings and other meetings scheduled for the chambers. I don't have the calendar right in front of me for that, but I do know that we have those scattered throughout the months, throughout the day and throughout the time, the day,
Right,
any particular day.
okay.
I can try to pull up my calendar, or I can get with
Well, while we doing it, because if we need to change it during the meeting, we can. So pull it up, and then when we have the commission meeting, if we need to adjust, we can do it, okay? In here, in the chamber. Yeah, so in the
Tuesday.
meantime.
So yes, we do have a special magistrate meeting on on Tuesday,
Okay, on the 4th,
the 4th.
okay? And what time is that? 11 o'clock, isn't it? 10 or 11?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, what time is over?
Noon.
So 3 o'clock gonna be fine, right? Okay. Yeah, they normally last about 2 hours. Yeah, so 3 o'clock,
Good for me.
okay, all right, we good? All right. I think that do it for me. Okay, Keith, where we at? Okay, so it's gonna be these projects that I assume that at some point we're still gonna follow up on them, the ones not closed out. All right, That's it for me. Thank you, guys. We have a lot of special guests here. We'll recognize you guys during our regular meeting. We have some heavyweights in here, and I don't mean by size, but just people that are educating our kids, and we appreciate them. So, but we will do that during our regular meeting, okay? So this workshop's adjourned. Thank you. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Almazan,
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Reese.
Here?
Wilson.
Yeah. We're blessed to have with us Commissioner Reese as our spiritual advisor here. He's also gonna lead us in the invocation. If you guys don't mind standing for a prayer for our commissioner, and then we'll ask Commissioner Collins to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay? Thank you.
Dear Heavenly Father, we are truly thankful to you, Lord, for this day. We thank you for the privilege that you give to us to serve this community. As we come together this evening, Lord, we invoke your presence to be here among us, to guide us in all that we say and in all that we do. We realize, dear God, without you, we are nothing, and if whatever we plan will not stand. So we ask you to bless this time we will spend together, bless all who've gathered here this evening, and especially the citizens of the city of Belle, Glade. Be with us and guide us, we pray now in your name. And all those who love the Lord said, Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all so much. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. At this time, if we can have the mayor and commissioners step down for the following presentations.
You got the agenda?
Approval of agenda?
You had an add-on from the workshop.
I apologize, yes. We would like to reorder 5 as 2A. Item 5 as 2A after January 2025 Employee Safety Award. And an add-on 14A, approval of proposed lease and operator for the Drawbridge Cafe under the consent agenda.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Is there a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Collins with the changes. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Call the roll.
Almazan,
Aye.
Collins.
Aye.
Reese.
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye. Welcome. Again, thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us tonight. You're all VIPs in your own respectable place. We acknowledge that. We do have our educators here tonight with us. Let's give our principals and administrators a big hand. You guys are the ones that make it work. See my former boss out there, Ms. Howard, at Crossroad. Got Glade Central, but we got them all here. Glade View, our Pioneer Park, Belle Glade Hill, Grove Elementary, we got them all, and our regional superintendent. I'm telling you, I was sharing with the group this morning that we are so proud to be a part of Palm Beach County School District, which is a A-rated school district, the 5th largest in the state and the 13th largest in the country. And guess what? We're getting it done in the Glades. No failing schools. Come on, give it up again for us. Great show. Thank you. So, any elected officials that I fail to recognize, I want to call you out now. Anybody? Okay, again, you're all VIPs in your own respectable place. We're so appreciative that you're with us tonight. So we're gonna step down, commissioners.
Is Mr. Charles Anderson here? Can you step forward, please? Mr. Anderson is our December 2024 Employee Safety Award recipient. Mr. Anderson works within the Public Works Department.
First off, just want to thank all you guys for this opportunity for me to be here. I appreciate it so much, and also thanks to Mr. Johnny, my manager, and just hopefully we keep just pressing forward and moving forward and make this thing work. So thank you.
Our next is our January 2025 Employee Safety Award recipient, Mr. Willie Halstead. Mr. Halstead works within our Building and Permitting Department.
Once again, congratulations, and you definitely want to take some.
Thank you very much.
All right, our next presentation is from Commissioner Collins.
Good evening, everyone. This award is just a initiative that we all been working on and trying to find ways to engage our local small businesses, our business owners, and what way to start is by recognizing someone for a good job and keeping up the upkeeping of their place of business. And with that being said, it helps people to want to be able to come and have a nice, clean, decent place to come to in our community. And it helps build, revenue for this particular business. However, with no further ado, I want to recognize a business where we rode around, and this is going to be an ongoing thing, so no one don't have to feel that their business is not going to be recognized, because we're going to go throughout the city. Each month, we're going to recognize a business for the upkeeping of their business, which makes our community look great again. And so this award, I want the picture to come up so you can see just how nice, neat, clean, and organized this owner has kept this building up. Most people say things in Belle Glade don't look so great, but look at that picture. What do you see? Something nice, something great. So with no further ado, this certificate of achievements proudly presented to Marverine Payne for her hard work and exceptional enhancements to her establishment, Hole in the Wall. On 116 Southwest 2nd Street in Belle Glade, presented this 27th day of January 2025. Congratulations, Ms. Payne. Congratulations. You're welcome.
Can we get the picture, and then you can make comments. My girl, I didn't know you. Get in the middle. It's your day. Get in the middle. Get in the middle. Would you like to say anything? You know you can talk.
Thank you all.
Didn't even see you by it. Let's give Commissioner Collins for good leadership on this. Thank you. I was looking for your other daughter because I'm in there like 3 days a week. So anyway, thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Our next presentation is relating to our social media content updates by Mr. Barry Kerrigan, our social media specialist.
Thank you, Mayor Wilson and Vice Mayor Amazon, Commissioner Dr. Reese and Commissioner Collins. Thank y'all for allowing me this opportunity. Thank you, Ms. Evans, my immediate supervisor. Just stop by to show the relevancy of social media. Why do we need social media? Why is it important? is simply because we tell it what to do. We tell it where to go, how to go, and when to go. Social media is it is imperative in this current generation in which we currently exist. It does things which needs to be said. Once we hit sin, it's able to go places that you and I are not able to go. And we can tell it what to do. That's the relevant part about social media. An example is these posts were recent. On about Tuesday afternoon, late in the workday, our mayor and CEO and the vice and the assistant to this CEO, my friend, Miss Marion, our mayor and our CEO were proactive. They didn't sit back and wait to react. They were proactive. When the subject came up of the homeless being out in the cold, they took swift action and says, they called Mayor Evans and she called me and said, let's put something together that will help our citizens out. And so immediately he got with Johnny Gooden and PBSO Captain Payne with his outreach stuff. And they told me to come up with something. Within 30 minutes, we came up with this post that says assistance of PBSO providing a warm shelter pickup van for homeless. We posted that at about 4:30 p.m. I went back and reposted at 5 p.m. That's a strategy. What happened less than 24 hours, that post got over 1.5K views. We came back 2 days later, we looked at the data, over 2,000 views. And so that's important because social media is able to go to places that you and I will not go and cannot go. Our world is made of 7 continents: North America, South America, Asia, Europe, Australia, and Antarctica, and Africa. It's able to go. When we hit sin, it's gone, and it's going to land there. And it wouldn't surprise me that every continent we have someone which knows of this small, great, progressive city of Belle, Glade. So that one there got all those views. The pickleball, that got over 3,000 views instantly. The caroling in the city, look at Dr. Reese there doing what the mayor pushes him up to do. So some of the most interesting things has been the Oktoberfest. Lord, it is so many people there, and we are able to document things, document in our archives, document, and we have the numbers. We save the data. The caroling in the city, the demolition day, and the annual employee Christmas gathering. There is Miss Evans and our vice mayor. Y'all look good together. So we go on to you say the most watched things. That at the bottom right-hand picture, that was the caroling in the city where it was scheduled to start at 5:30 p.m. However, I went and took that picture at about 3:45, standing room only. Miss Evans, I think you outdid yourself on this one. This year, we had so many people there doing so many things, and our vice mayor is always at the food distribution. We had about 4 or 5 in the month of December, along with Captain Payne. Captain Payne calls us at the last minute. Kerrigan, it's a truck coming. I need you there. And even the Glade Day fall activity of Kiss the Pig. That was a big event. It was well attended, and we focused in on our schools. We did posters about our city promoting education because education is important in this generation, this current generation in which we exist. And so we had so many activities during the month of December where we did the Tri-City barbecue, leadership, Palm Beach County. We were down in Pahokee. Our very own Clarence Anthony. Now, this picture is important. Now, he's the CEO of the National League of Cities. But what is so special about this picture, he and the mayor and I, we are classmates. And so he had his bus tour. It stopped off in Belle, Glade. Social media is here to stay, and we must take advantage of it and do all that we can. We got so many pictures, we can't show them all because I got 1 more minute left. And our brother, Johnny Gooden, he helped to usher us into the spirit of the holidays by having the annual Thanksgiving luncheon, and our coaches from our leagues were here to receive their award. There again is the 48th annual Tri-City Barbecue, and there is our assistant to the CEO. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? And so, our social media aim, here's what we are aiming to do, y'all. Here's what we're aiming to do. Our social media goal, we need to increase the number of followers and engagement, expand our city awareness to wider audience, increase traffic to social media because it's going somewhere and it's here to stay, and we're gonna utilize it to its capacity. I have to flex my schedule to be when Captain Payne called, when the mayor called, when the CEO of the city called, and my friend, the city clerk, she is amazing. She does a wonderful job with those equipment. So we come to the rollout of 2025, what to expect. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old ball game. You don't have to strike out no more because Park and Recs has a batting cage at Airport Park. Then we're leading into the pickleball grand opening where Mrs. Hughes is planning that for the month of February. Last and but not least, yours truly, we plan to introduce, implement, or develop our new city newsletter. It's coming in a quarterly manner, but we need your help. We're gonna have some contests named that newsletter. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Commissioner.
Mr. Kerrigan. Mr. Kerrigan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Question and answers.
Thank you for the great work you're doing. But it would also be beneficial to go out to the marina, campground. There's a lot of stuff going out there on the weekend, people playing golf. People don't know we have a golf course. This is something we need help promoting with your
Okay.
social media skills. Fishing, they can biking out there, so, let's work
Sure.
on that too.
Sure.
Yes, sir. But you're doing an excellent job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Any
you.
more
Mr.
questions? Thank y'all.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Our next presentation is the status of the Glades Region in Education. Mrs. Angela Moore, Glades Region Superintendent, and her team.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Wilson, as well as Vice Mayor Almazan, commissioners on the dais, as well as everyone else who is here tonight. We bring you greetings on behalf of our superintendent, Mr. Michael J. Burke, our District 6 board member, Mrs. Marsha Andrews, who could not be here tonight, as well as the entire Glades region. And as you can see, we are here in force because we wanted to reaffirm our commitment and dedication to the Glades region. And so I'm Angela Moore, and I proudly serve as the Glades Region Superintendent. I would like to quickly introduce, we did hear Mayor Wilson acknowledge or name all of the schools that are in our region, but I do want to put a face with the school's name. And so if I can, first start off with our instructional superintendent, Dr. McTier, who's standing
Yeah.
Just wave your hand so everyone can see you. Also, I have our instructional team leader, Mr. Dowdell.
Yeah.
Ms. Bowden Morris, who serves as our Glade Central
Yeah.
High School principal. Also have behind me Mrs. Dowers, our principal for Glade
Yeah.
View. Also, Dr. Muro, principal of Pioneer Park.
Yes.
Ms. Thomason, principal of Gove. Dr. Ford, principal of West Tech. Dr. Howard, principal of Crossroads Academy. Miss Walker, I'm sorry, principal of Belle Glade Elementary. I was gonna say Belle Glade L before. Dr. Gibbons, principal
Yes.
of Lakeshore Middle School. And we also have Major Moore, who's here tonight,
Yes.
serving in our Glades region. And so we did hear the mayor say, talk about the partnership that exists between the city of Belle Glade and the Glades region. And it's very important for all of you to know that we are definitely growing greatness in the Glades region. It is in our DNA. One recent example of that, and we had the opportunity to share it at Monday's MLK parade, and the event was the graduation rates. And so
Yes.
we do have Ms. Bowden Morris and Dr. Howard here, and I know they represent their staff, but we are proud of the work that they are doing, as well as all of our schools, because it is a collective effort. And so Crossroads Academy's graduation rate is at 92.6%. As well as Glade Central's graduation rate being at 98%. The highest graduation rates in both schools' history.
Yes.
And so we are
Yes, get it
very
done.
committed to doing the work for our students and our families. And it starts with the partnership that exists between the city of Belle Glade and all of us. And so we do want to recognize a few of the things that we do. We did hear Mr. Kerrigan show some of the work that you guys are doing in the city of Belle Glade, but we do want to acknowledge this because it does give our students an opportunity to be involved and engaged in the city of Belle Glade. And so there's the holiday celebration, the fall festival, the paid summer internships. These things are offered to our students at no charge to the students, so especially for our elementary students, they're able to take advantage of some of these events. We work very closely with Ms. Evans, the caroling in Town Square. Also, we do have representatives from the commissioners who sit on our school advisory committees, and so we really do appreciate that. Anytime we have an event in our school, all of you are available to attend, to participate, to speak. We appreciate you for that. We also know that some of you serve on some of our committees, and so as I mentioned, the School Advisory Committee, but as well as our Safety Committee. And so we do have Captain Payne, who's a member of that Safety Committee, Ms. Evans, who's a member of the Safety Committee, Mayor Wilson, who's a member of the Safety Committee, as well as Major Moore. And one of the things that came out of that conversation 2 years ago is getting a crossing guard for Glade Central Community High School. So we're not just talking when we're meeting, we're actually taking action and getting things done. In addition to that, there are so many other opportunities that have been extended to our students. For example, the festivals that are being held within the city of Belle Glade, the parades, the partnership that exists with that. All of you have been very helpful in accommodating Glade Central's homecoming parade each year, with the partnership that exists with that. And there's no way that we could create these opportunities for our students if we did not have the support of all of you. And so on behalf of the entire Glades region, we just want to say to you, thank you for your continued support. This support has lasted since we started this, but definitely 7 years ago when Dr. McTier and I started in the roles that we're currently in. Just to be able to talk to all of you, just to be able to have the guidance of all of you, just to have the high expectations that you've set for all of us. We know that we are committed to doing the work for our students. Right now, at this particular time of the school year, we are working on getting our students prepared for the state exams that are coming at the end of the year. And what we want you to know is that it's not just about the state exams. We want to make sure that our students are prepared and ready, and we want to make sure that our students are graduating. And so we know that when students graduate, it opens the doors for more opportunities for students. If students decide that they want to go into the military, they have that option. If they decide they want to go to college, and then if they decide they want to go right here to West Tech, we do have Dr. Ford here tonight. If they want to go to West Tech, that is an opportunity for all of them. And so again, we could not do the work that we're doing if we did not have the support of all of you. And on behalf of the entire Glades region, I want to say thank you, because I've been a part of this community, just like most of the people who are standing here who grew up in this community. But for 30, almost 33 years I've been here, and there's no place like the Glades region. The family support, the love of family, the partnerships and all of that. So I just want to say, on behalf of all of us, thank you for what you do. Thank you for your commitment, and we're going to continue to work hard to make sure that we continue to improve outcomes for all of our students in the Glades region. So thank you for giving us this opportunity to be here tonight to, again, reaffirm our commitment to the entire Glades region and for the work that we're doing in our schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Before you guys leave, I'm sure my commissioners want to say thank you in their own way, and I'll
Yes.
start with Commissioner Reese.
Again, we do thank you for all the hard work that you do and how, again, you brought up those grades for each school, and your graduation percentage is increasing each and every year. And we're just very proud of you, and we look forward to working with you to make it even better. Because we know that when businesses look to come to a community, one of the questions they're going to ask about, what about this education system? And I've always been able to brag about you because there were things that you were doing that others were not recognizing. And I do know on several occasions they came from the coast to see what you were doing in order to take it back over there. So you've always provided excellent in education in our community, and we thank you for that. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Collins, been recognized.
I just want to say thank each and every one of you for all the hard work that you put in each and every day with our students. You know, as an alumni, I am very grateful and very proud to be a Glade Central Raider right here in Belle Glade. However, being part of our local school-based team meeting where, you know, I sit in and I know some of the challenges that go on, you know, with some of our kids, but having that partnership with you all makes a great deal of a difference in their lives as well as ours. And we look forward to some of them coming back being alumni right here in our own community, in our home as well too. So again, I want to say thank you so much for all of your hard work.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
Yes, ditto to what they said, but also thank you for all your hard work and dedication. It's showing with the, you know, with graduation rates and everything, but most importantly for the love, it takes a special person to teach because you you need patience, you need love, you need caring, and y'all doing that, and y'all not only educating our community, you know, our children, our cousins, you know, your own family members, and a lot of instances, you know, we're molding young men and women to the future. So thank you for that. I know all of y'all go beyond y'all duty, your responsibility, and everything. So my heart goes out to y'all. We're here to work with y'all. I know Ms. Andrews, Mr. Bird. So whatever y'all need from us, we're here to support y'all, and let's go Roll Runners.
And so finally, we don't get the opportunity to say thank you enough because we know you guys are getting it done. We don't get that opportunity. We should, but we don't. And so it's our way of saying thank you for everything you do. Leadership starts with the leaders, and you guys are making it happen. Teamwork make dream work. Let's give them another big hand.
Thank you.
I'll take a minute recess. Just a minute, because I know some of them. Terry Moore, good to see you. All right, good night.
I would have had more breakfast.
What's up, dog? I thought I was doing it.
No.
Let's go in the wall. Don't take the other one. Yeah.
Look at that.
I never met her. I met her. Oh. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and reconvene. All right, Madam Clerk.
Yes, thank you. At this time, may we have a motion to approve items 6 through 18 on the consent agenda?
What's your pleasure?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All right, call the roll.
Almazan,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Reese,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Okay, for second and final reading of ordinances, item 19, annexing 2 parcels of real property totaling approximately 36.2 acres owned by Abdul Mufus, number 2 LLC, located at 1290 South Main Street, as more particularly described herein, declaring that the voluntary annexation of the properties meets all legal criteria and directing city administrative staff to take all actions necessary to effectuate the annexation.
What's your pleasure?
Do we have a motion?
Is there a motion?
So move.
Approve.
Okay, motion by Vice Mayor, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Reese. All right, call the roll.
Almazan,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Reese,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Item 20, amending Chapter 29 Vegetation, Article 2, Weeds and Grass Vegetation and Gardens on Vacant Lots, Section 29-22, Lien for Cost of Abatement Notice by adding a new subsection authorizing collection and enforcement of non-ad valorem assessments pursuant to Section 197.3632 Florida statutes and for other purposes.
What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Reese, second by Vice Mayor Amazon. Audience comment?
No, sir.
Commissioner comments?
No, sir.
All right, call the roll.
Almazan,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Reese,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Under other business, approval of Vice Mayor Almazan to serve as the alternate to Mayor Wilson on the Transportation Planning Agency Governing Board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Reese, second by Commissioner Collins. Audience comment?
No, sir.
Commissioner comments? All right, call the roll.
Almazan,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Reese,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
And under announcements, our next workshop and regular meeting would be held on Monday, February 24th, 2025, beginning at 6 o'clock with a workshop followed by the regular meeting at 6:30 here in City Hall Commission Chambers.
Before we move on, did you find in terms of that date's gonna be good for you next month? The
It
4th?
is, but not for our live streaming services.
Why is that? What?
They have another scheduled meeting that day.
All right, we're gonna move on then. Okay. All right. All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Manager, what's good for the order? Your mic's off.
As you know, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, you asked the city manager's office to work with the county regarding the homeless issue. We have been working with them. The county has received funding for the housing for homeless. We're working with them. They've suggested different sites to where we could possibly put this. They have stressed that the parcels will be located only in industrial and commercial zones, not outside of residential communities. They have suggested certain size tiny houses for the city to consider, as well as these sites. If we don't like the sites that they have suggested, then we can suggest sites to them. They have fundings for the sites as well as the small homes. Now, I know at one point in time, Commissioner Reese, that you said in Georgia that you had something to do with some of the homes. I don't really remember what you stated. Commissioner Collins, this falls under you. So we need to move forward on this. We'd like to work with you commissioners and move forward since the county does have this funding here, and I think it's a great opportunity for the city.
Well, first of all, I'd like to really commend Commissioner Collins again and you, Mr. Manager, for following up on this and having the foresight to address the homeless issue. But we'll turn it over to you and you give us some direction how you want to proceed.
Okay. If so, I want to ask Pastor Reese, would he help assist with this project? and, just report back to me as the chair. And then we could schedule some other workshops and things like that so that we can follow up on some of the updates and information, if you so will.
Yes, it'll be my honor to do so. I have, during a visit to Savannah, I had an opportunity to walk around one of their projects that they completed, not only for homelessness, but also for homeless vets. And they did have those tiny houses that they had built for them. And matter of fact, they are preparing to close out on some tiny houses for the homeless. It still was in construction. And so it'll be my honor to take that project on. I have already contacted the contacts in Savannah to get some information from them as to how we can proceed. So I definitely look forward to doing that.
Thank you, Pastor Reese. So moving forward, he will report to me as the chair, and then we would set up some workshops where we can follow up with the information the ongoing on this project.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else?
Also, so it's settled that next Thursday, February 6th at 9 a.m., we'll have a ribbon cutting at the volleyball courts and handball courts,
What court?
pickleball courts,
Pickleball.
out at the campground,
What time?
9 a.m., February 6th, Thursday.
Again, Vice Mayor, that's one of those things that maybe you can reach out to some of our power to be Vice Mayor in terms of inviting them out. Again, the strategy is to always invite the ones that are helping us with the funding mechanism, to invite them out to do the ribbon cutting as well. Typically in the past, it's always us local folks doing it, but we need to get those who are helping us from the county and state, and even on the national level to come out. But thank you. 9 o'clock or 9:30?
Yes, sir.
You said 9:30 or 9 o'clock?
9.
9. Okay. All right.
I have no other items.
Okay. All right. Anything else for the good orders on the managers?
If I may, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Lomax has been here and been working diligently carrying this city forward. And we still show him as an interim manager. But I think he's been doing a Herculean job. And I think it maybe that we ought to consider making him the permanent manager. And so I would offer the motion that we make Lomax the not interim manager, but the permanent manager.
Okay, there's a motion and then we'll have comments on it. Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. So I assume, council, then, Mr. Manager, you guys will have to work out a contract, by all means. If it passed, then the direction is to go ahead and make him become the manager officially, and then we'll do a contract to make it official. So there's a motion second. Any additional comments, thoughts? All right, call a roll, please.
Amazon,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Reese,
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye. Did he kick you to say that, Commissioner Reese?
What's
Did
that?
he kick you to say that?
Did he kick me? My leg is hurting, I tell you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, we're gonna move on with, PR, Ms. Evans, anything for the good order?
Yes, I do.
It doesn't work. Stop.
I'll put this one here, Ms. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I have a letter I'd like to share, an email from one of our residents in the city of Belle, Glade, and it reads, good afternoon, all. Today, I was contacted by a Belle Glade resident. The resident said, and I quote, I rode down 5th and 6th Street, and it really looked nice. Your code enforcement team is doing a great and greater than all caps job. There was no one selling on the streets or loading ramp, and I didn't see any trash. You guys are really doing a great job. We always hear about how bad this city looks and what is code enforcement doing. Here it is doing their job and doing it well. Thanks, CE team. Awesome job. So congratulations to Mr. Didell and his team and Mr. Kramer.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'd also like to thank everyone that participated in the Martin Luther King Parade and program on Monday, last Monday. It was just excellent. We had a great time, and we're looking forward to other events that we are working on that's coming up. So thank you so much for always helping out. That's it.
Well, thank you, Ms. Evans, PR, thank you for getting the information. And by the way, we really appreciate you on the radio every week, every Friday. It means a lot to the citizens of Belle Glade. But let's recognize again, Steve, Mr. Kramer and Albert Dardell. You have any more on your staff here? Okay, all right, well, let's give them another big hand. Thank you for the leadership. We do often hear about the issues with code enforcement, but I can tell you what you guys are putting together, whatever it is, we got a long way to go, but it's working, and people are calling us, but more like, hey, I know we're in violation, but hey, I appreciate they out there working. That means a lot. That means a lot to us. So I'm gonna yield a minute and let my colleagues comment on it as well. Commissioner Reese.
Again, I do thank you for what you're doing, because I think it's important that we get out there and make sure that the people are following the codes and keeping the properties in good shape. I do know that there are some that still needs a lot of work, but you're making a difference, and we thank you.
Mr. Collins.
I just want to piggyback off of the same Pastor Reese just stated. Thank you. You're doing a good job. And in conjunction with what we just said with that initiative of recognizing businesses for, keeping up their business and cleaning up and things like that is what we need in our city. We have tourists and different people that comes through, and we want the city to look clean. And so with that and in conjunction, I think that we're moving forward. Thank you again so much.
Vice Mayor.
Yes, it's a hard work and you're doing it. It's not an easy work because, we're going and telling our residents, you gotta clean up or do this, we're a business, but you're doing it in a professional way that, we're getting the job done. Anything that we need to do, if there's other ordinances, please bring them on. I know we have a lot of solicitors sometimes just walking in town. I know I've called Mr. Dowdell, Mr. Kramer, y'all taking it, y'all work on it right away. And that's something that, that I kind of worry because of our seniors and people being taken advantage. So, that's something that, the business people outside in the counties or other counties, they need to worry. We got watchdogs out here because we're not gonna let our seniors being taken advantage or anybody taken advantage because of lack of language barriers or whatever. So that's very important when these solicitors come to town. They gotta come in here and get a permit or whatever they need to do what they're gonna do business here, walking around. We don't mind them if they come and do it right, but, they got to report to the city. Thank you for what y'all are doing.
Thank you. And Mr. Manager, at some point, we do need to hear from our code enforcement, Mr. Kramer and Dardell. Maybe they can explain to us what they're doing a little different that seem to be working, but maybe next month or a month after that so we can get an update on what's happening, because whatever they're doing, it seemed to be working. We're on the right track, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you again, Ms. Evans. All right, council, anything for the good order?
Mr. Mayor, nothing at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
PBSO.
Can I get away with saying the same thing?
No, you have to say something.
Mr. Mayor, and the commissioners on the dais, I know Vice Mayor brought up these red light cameras and enforcement in the school zones. And we have been having some discussions. And as you know, there's about 3 or 4 different vendors that's offering these cameras and services that is no cost to the city or the entity that allows them to place them there. So, saying that, and Vice Mayor did mention Red Speed. Red Speed is one of the vendors, the vendors that do provide that service. Our neighboring county may use a different vendor. I think Henry County uses a different vendor. But just, so we did, PBSO did some research on Red Speed. So some of the things that we found out that, because Red Speed came out on top for us. Red Speed has an active government contracts in Florida and just signed the following jurisdictions: Broward, Hillsborough, Manatee, Deerfield, Coconut Creek, Miami-Dade, Tallahassee, and Palm Bay. Red Speed has also completed integration with Flock or FOSIS, which is a different shot spotter activation system that which we use shot spotter here. Hillsborough County has an ordinance. The sheriff's office has an ordinance. The sheriff's office funding for citations instead of the county. This could go directly to the city instead of going to the county and then they disperse the funds. So real results in Gwinnett County, Georgia, were there was about 95% reduction in speed through school zones. Red Speed is currently in talks with Wellington and Lake Park for their contract. As this was written, Wellington has agreed to implement this Red Speed in Wellington. I'm not sure if Lake Park signed on with them yet. So they are one of the premier vendors, I would say, after we looked at all the vendors, and they do the most service in the state of Florida. So if we want to look, you're most certainly welcome to look at all three vendors that's out there, but Red Speed is what the sheriff's office is now going with so far. So, and saying that, also, I hope that we got some of the speeding complaints down. I think Mr. Barnes is pretty satisfied. So we finally got his guy who's causing him problems. But as you know, that our motor unit had some tragedy that they dealt with last month. However, they're back out, and they had an operation out here on the 21st. So it ran from 17 to 2,200 hours. So obviously none of you guys got stopped because you didn't call me. So, but they conducted 50 traffic stops out here for that time. They issued 33 citations. They had 5 criminal citations and 23 verbal warnings. Now that was just the city of Belle Glade, but they had over 120 altogether between the 3 cities. So there was another day, I remember, I don't have the stats, but where they were out here in the daytime. So they're gonna be out here more often, but not as often as they would be in the other parts of Palm Beach County because they're spreading around. One of the things that we did talk about is that our truck enforcement through Main City. So we have asked that they put a message board out so the trucks would know that they can't travel through the city. So that should be coming out within the next couple of weeks. So we'll have a message board out. So the plan is to educate them and say, hey, this is not the truck route. This is the truck route. And then after that time period, then they'll start issuing citations to them. So that is in the works as well.
Well, I don't see how you do it, but I'm constantly calling you all during the night, so thank you for your commitment. I know it's a tough job, but that's what you signed up for, so, okay. So, thank you. Any comments for our captain? Thank you. I'd like to, Mr. Manager, I ask my colleagues if we can, we always ask the chief to make comments, but if we can add that to the agenda, if you guys don't mind.
Yes.
So that way, they expect to do a quick report or comments. In fairness to having the captain, we should have our chief as well, if you guys okay with that. I don't know, council, if we need a motion for that, or this is our agenda, so.
Consensus is fine.
Okay, consensus, we all good?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so if our chief is here somewhere, we not, so what we'll do, Captain, let the chief know from now on that we would like her to do a brief update, okay? Thank you so much for that. Okay, ordinance coming.
Yes, sir, we have 2. Our first is from Mrs. Annie Eifel.
Any icon.
You state your name and you have 3 minutes for the record.
You got money for us, right?
Well, good evening. All right, good evening, Mayor Commission. For those who don't know me, my name is Ann Ife. I'm the Director for Healthier Glades. I am working on a couple of projects, and I wanted to make sure that I share it with you guys. I'm working in collaboration with Empower Healthcare. February is Heart Health Month, and so in the city of Pahokee, they're doing a heart health event at the Eddie Lee Rose Gym, and that's going to be on February 1st from 11 to 2. So if you have an opportunity to come out, please come out, do so. They're going to be doing circulation checks, blood pressure checks, diabetes screening, and it's all free for the community. So I just want to make sure you were aware of that, and we're partnering with Empower Healthcare on that. I know you had a conversation a minute ago about housing. Healthier Glades is working in collaboration with West Tech and community partners of South Florida to bring a Glades housing fair here. And that's going to, it was originally scheduled for January 25th. The date got changed to February 22nd. And so we are looking for vendors, realtors, contractors, as well as apartment communities, because we're also looking on trying to get folks into homes, but we also realize we got to be realistic that folks may not be ready to go into a home just yet. They may need some rental options. So we are also looking for apartment communities who may have some vacancies that may be interested in being at the fair. And that will be from 9 to 2 at West Tech. And so we also going to be doing some stuff with our Let's Move campaign. As you know, former First Lady Michelle Obama did a campaign about getting folks active and physically involved. So we're working with the county through Digital Vibes to do our Let's Move campaign. And we're going to be kicking it off tomorrow with our Love Thyself Chair Yoga. I will send it to Ms. Peggy Boulay with the Parks and Rec so that they could participate. They could participate in person, or they could participate virtually via Zoom. And it's going to be located every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 o'clock at Bridges at Belle Glade. And with that, that's all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ife.
And I have the flyers for the heart health. So if anybody interested, I'll just leave them here. Or you can just see me back
When
there.
are those grants gonna be offered again that you guys normally do?
Well, okay, so Healthier Glades offer a mini grant where you can get up to $3,000. You could be a resident, a grassroots organization, a member of fraternity or sorority, and that usually starts around September. We just awarded our grants, and all 3 of the other participants are from the city of Belle Glade.
And they're used for what? I mean.
Okay, so what they're used for is if a resident or organization is working on something, like I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Miss Aaliyah Dean. Miss Aaliyah Dean is actually from Canal Point, but Aaliyah Dean, she wanted to do something to increase knowledge and awareness around CPR and first aid, given the fact that we have a lot of people that don't even understand that there's been changes to how you do CPR and first aid. So she's been able to use she created a proposal and asked us for dollars to provide classes. So she's gonna be offering classes in Belle Glade, South Bay, and Pahokee. So I'm just using it as an example. We've had folks that use our grants to create a community garden. We've had folks to use our grants to address issues around diabetes awareness. It just, as long as it falls within the guidelines around health and wellness, community engagement, and resident advocacy, they could be eligible for that grant. And we usually do it in September.
Like, for example, like you have coaches want to take kids to these mini camps. Can they use it for that?
They could. That could be an option as well.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Our next comment is from Miss Aaron Davis. Is it Mr. Aaron Davis? Please state your name. You have 3 minutes for the record.
Hello, Commissioner and everyone on the board. I'm standing in the gap of the spokesperson for Hot Knocks Foundation, address 586 Amelia Circle, Suite 2, Belle Glade, Florida 33473. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so it says, Dear City of Belle Glade, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing on behalf of the Hard Knock Foundation, an organization dedicated to making a positive impact in our community. particularly amongst young men aged 13 to 14. Our mission is to guide these young individuals toward becoming great contributors to society. As we all are aware, our community faces significant challenges with youth involvement in gun violence and street life. It is imperative that we provide constructive alternatives and mentorship to steer them away from these dangers. The Heart Now Foundation has developed programs aimed at keeping kids off the streets and providing them with guidance towards success. Recently, our coaching staff successfully raised approximately $3,000 to facilitate an overnight trip for the kids to Miami. During this trip, they participated in a 707 football tournament and had the opportunity to visit the University of Miami. This experience was invaluable in shaping their minds and fostering positive energy amongst them. Looking forward, we are planning another significant event from February 20th through the 23rd, where we intend to take about 35 kids to Atlanta, Georgia. This trip will include a Black History College tour featuring visits to the Martin Luther King Jr. Museum and the College Football Hall of Fame, along with participation in the National 707 tournaments. The total budget for the trip is estimated at about $10,000, which will cover transportation by bus, hotels, accommodation, meals for kids, and museum fees. We kindly request or ask support from the city of Belle Glade to help us with these kids to keep the kids off the streets and provide them with enriching experience that promotes personal growth and development. Your assistance will be instrumental ensuring that we can continue our work in uplifting our youth. Thank you for considering our request, and we look forward to your positive response.
Well, first of all, thank you guys. I think we helped a couple of years ago. Is that correct? You guys came back with a product that we were so proud of. Unfortunately, the last 2 years, many of our budget requests have been vetoed. And so when it veto our project, it puts us behind and our budget becomes short for us. But we're gonna find ways and means to help you guys.
Okay.
Because you guys are, with these kids, you're giving them opportunities. So I'm gonna ask the city manager and Captain Payne, let's figure this out, reaching out to some of our business partners to help you guys out. Now, it's on a short leash here, so you only got much time left.
Right.
So, but we're gonna do our part. We're gonna try to find some help.
Thank you so much,
We can't
Mayor.
commit to the total then.
Right, of
We gon-
course.
we gonna
Anything
do our
helps.
part. Okay, thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
question for them? Excellent. Hard knocks, thank you. Young guys thank you so much, okay?
All right, thank you, guys.
Any questions? Okay, all right, thank you.
All
Thank you.
That's all for our public comments.
Okay. All right, we'll close up with commissioner comments. I'll start with Commissioner Reese. You've been recognized for closing comments.
Again, we want to thank everyone for coming out this evening. And in looking at the home, tiny houses for homeless, I will be reaching out to a number of departments within our city to come together as we sit down to begin planning and looking for opportunities to build these. So I'll contact Jessica and ask her to pull a committee together to work with me, along with the assistant to the city manager. Again, this project can really have an impact to deal with our homeless. But as I have indicated, whatever we do, we're gonna make sure that whatever the project does, it does not bring down the property value of the surrounding areas. I do know the facilities that I saw in Savannah are top-notch with all the services there, a gated type community, and it's really nice. And so we want to do the same thing here in our city. So I want to work very closely with code enforcement, with planning, to make sure that we are going in the right direction. I had Keith on my in mind to be on my committee, but he's leaving us, so as soon as we get someone from our new engineering, we want to get them involved as well. But I'm looking forward to that. Again, I think it'll be a great thing for the city of Belle Glade. But again, thank you again for coming out.
Thank you, Commissioner Reese. Commissioner Collins, you've been recognized for closing comments.
All right, again, I want to just say thank you to everyone who came out tonight. It's always a pleasure for your support. We thank you, each and every department, for everything that you do, because we know that, you know, our jobs require a lot, so it requires a lot of you, but we thank you for taking the time, you know, out of your busy days to make sure that you're meeting the needs of not only the dais, but the community as well. I just want to add to Pastor Reese, closing comment with that tiny home project that's moving forward. I would like to see if we could possibly put some type of social services in place so that, you know, even though that they're going into one of these homes, tiny homes, you know, just to have a living space, but have someone there that could work on different services such as their mental health, sustaining the housing, and, you know, making sure that they're stable before even, you know, going into that. Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's in there.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's in the request. Thank you so much. Okay, Commissioner Reese, at some point through the manager, we'll set up a workshop so you can give us some update, okay? Vice Mayor, you've been recognized for closing comments.
Yeah, first of all, I'd just like to thank all our staff, the city manager, Mr. Clerk, and all our directors for doing a great job and helping take care of our residents and moving our city in the good direction. I've been cycling out to the marina. Finally fixed my bike, so I've been going out there, and I see it out there firsthand on Sundays. It's out there. They're busy. They're golfing. Hopefully, with the restaurant coming on board, it'll enhance it. There's tenants out there. I mean, that's what I've told Mr. Carrigan to go out there. The people are out there. They're out there, and so I mean, I see it. The pickleball courts. I see they moved the volleyball also. So I see the progress that's going on there. So I want to thank them for all their whole hard work. PBSO and our first responders, always thank you, Captain Payne, for all y'all do, keeping us safe in our communities and our roads. And it's a tough job, but y'all do the best which y'all can. So, you know, I really do appreciate all of that. Mr. Mayor, I have spoken to the manager about this, and you know, Lakeside is going through some changes there, and we need to get somebody from the either Tampa General or the Health District. We need to do a community event and because the residents, everybody from Belle Glade to South Bay, we have concerns. We don't know. We really don't know what's going on, and the people. If I don't know what's going on, the residents, they were. So we need to get somebody and either have a town hall meeting here or just an open summit so people can answer here. You know, they got questions, they can come and answer. You know, we can ask these questions because, you know, I've heard good things about Tampa General, but Tampa's one thing. You know, that hospital is unutilized. And if we don't have the doctors out here, people still gonna be driving over. It don't matter. It's a stigma. People don't want to, our babies aren't born here. Everybody's got to be delivered over there. I mean, it's just a burden for everything. You know, I was born and raised here. I love to say I was born in Belle Glade. So, you know, we need to work on that, you know, to bring these services back to the Glades. It's a disservice. We got a brand new facility, Harley, being unutilized. So we need to work with that. Another thing, I think, she left already. Ms. Evans did a wonderful job in the whole organization for the Martin Luther King event, the oratory, these speakers, these winners. I mean, they were just superior. They were superior. If y'all would have listened to the speeches and the way they did them, you know, they didn't memorize them and anything. I mean, they memorized them, and I mean, they spoke with passion. They were on point. They were superior. I've never seen it. The competition is tough, and they're getting there. So my hat's off to all those winners. Also, our 4-H club here at Glade Day and Glade Central, they did the hog auction last week at the fair, and all of them did real good. But I'm very proud of Lila Lopez. She was the only one from Glade Central that raised a hog from our public school. And she did a good job of, her hog was bought at a good market rate, real good, so I'm not gonna say the amount, but she did very good. And I'm proud of her because out of Glade Central, she's the only one that stood up and did it. This is her second year. But there's opportunities for our kids to, raise a hog for 4 or 5 months, and then you take it to the fair, and they buy your hog there, and those funds come back to the kid. So it's a good experience for them. So I'm very proud of everybody at Glade Day. I think all their hogs all got sold and everything for all the children. So I'm very proud for all their hard work. So I'll close with that, and I'll just say good night to everybody, and I appreciate all the residents coming out, because listening to y'all is what we need to improve. Tell us what we need to do. So thank y'all for coming out.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, and to my colleagues again.
One more thing, Mr. Keefe, doors are always open to come back.
You guys are excellent to work with, Commissioner Reese, Commissioner Collins, and Vice Mayor Amazon. To address the hospital issue, so you know, we did have concern. I had the city manager, the mayors and the managers met with them about a week ago. Is that right? About a week ago. And we did express our concern about the activity that's going on with them, and we're not aware. So they asked us if we'll give them a couple of weeks, and they're gonna put something together, and every quarter they're gonna come before this commission and give us an update. Even if we have to do a workshop with the community as a whole, but they made a promissory note that they're gonna do that, because you're right. A lot of things going on, but we don't know anything about it. Now, there's board members that represent there, but we want to hear from them firsthand. So you're absolutely right. I want to go back to two things here. Mr. Manager, I noticed last month we had Parks and Rec who did a presentation. They did an excellent job. This week, or this month, we had social media and PR doing it. Maybe something you can think about, maybe once every meeting, each department can do a brief update on what they're doing in their department. Because next month, I think code enforcement, then maybe after that, you can have HR, every month, just maybe hear from each department in an open setting like this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I'm telling you, that Park and Rec update was valued to us. And then listen tonight, how social media, I think Commissioner Reese, you've been saying that day when you came back from Savannah, that we don't market this city enough. And so now it's come to fruition. Thank you, Mr. Manager, for your leadership, our city clerk, all our department heads, to our citizen, our assistant. You guys don't know how much it makes us feel that you guys are working for the good of this community. Sometimes it's not easy, but you guys are making it happen. I'm not gonna call you, what was the guys? I'm not gonna call you a traitor, but you can always come back, like our Vice Mayor said. Keep you doing an excellent job. God bless you all. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.